Some rules keep us safe. Others exist to trap us. 3 stories. 3 sets of rules you should never break. A haunted archive that whispers back. A cursed gas station with written warnings in blood. And a ritual game rewriting its own commandments. Remember, once you start reading, you're already playing. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more scary stories. When I got the job at the Federal Archive Annex 12, I thought it was a joke. An underground facility in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours from the nearest town, with one job description. Night security, minimal duties, high confidentiality, hazard pay included. It sounded like easy money. I signed the non-disclosure forms without reading them, took the ID badge, and followed the day supervisor, a woman named Keller, down 7 flights of concrete stairs. The air got colder with every level. The walls were lined with steel shelves, each stacked with boxes sealed in wax paper. No labels, no numbers, just endless rows. The hum of the fluorescent lights was the only sound. "This place doesn't exist," Keller said as we walked. "Not officially. You'll have the night to yourself. Cameras don't work well down here. Interference." She handed me a black binder. Emergency Protocols, Security Level D. Read it. Follow it. Especially Rule 14. When I flipped to the page, I found only a single line. The rest was blacked out. Rule number 14. Never acknowledge the archivist. He'll talk first. I laughed, thinking it was an initiation prank. Keller didn't laugh back. The first night was uneventful. My shift started at midnight and ended at 6 a.m. The corridor stretched in every direction, like veins through the earth, lit by dim, flickering bulbs. My only job was to make sure the temperature stayed constant, and no one, nothing unauthorized, entered or exited the archive. By 3 a.m., the silence started to feel heavy, the kind that presses against your skull. Every sound, my footsteps, the buzz of the lights, the squeak of my chair, seemed to echo forever. At one point, I thought I heard something else. A faint humming coming from somewhere deep down, one of the aisles. Slow, tuneless, like someone working while they hum to themselves. I told myself it was the pipes, or my imagination. The second night, the humming returned. This time it started earlier, around 1:30. Same pitch, same rhythm, almost like a lullaby without words. I tried to locate the source, walking down the corridors with my flashlight, but the sound never grew louder or fainter. It just moved, like it was pacing me, keeping distance. When I reported it during the morning checkout, Keller didn't look surprised. "Just the building settling," she said, signing my log. "Don't go looking for it." "Is that what Rule 14 is about?" I asked, half joking. Her eyes flicked up, sharp and tired. "You don't want to find out." By the 4th night, sleep deprivation started hitting me. The humming didn't stop when I clocked out. I'd hear it faintly in my car, in the whir of my fan at home, even in the shower. That night, I decided to bring earphones. I was halfway through an audiobook when the power flickered. The lights dimmed, buzzed, then cut out entirely. Darkness. Total suffocating black. The backup generator should have kicked in immediately, but it didn't. Instead, I heard something far worse. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Coming from the far end of the hall. Then, the humming again, but closer. I froze, not breathing, gripping my flashlight like a weapon. The sound moved through the darkness, weaving between aisles, the footsteps dragging lightly, like someone tired or wounded. And then I heard a voice. Low, gentle, human. It's been so long since anyone stayed past closing time. My throat tightened. I remembered the rule: never acknowledge him. But the instinct to respond was almost physical. The voice came closer. Do you know how long I've been down here? My flashlight flickered on by itself, just for a moment, long enough to see something between the shelves. A shape, human-sized but wrong. Too tall, too thin, with skin the color of paper and eyes that glowed faintly blue, like the static of an old TV. It was smiling, but the expression didn't fit the face. It stretched too far, cracking slightly at the corners. The light went out again. You shouldn't have come alone. I ran. I don't even remember choosing a direction, just a way. My hand found the stairwell door and I slammed it behind me, heart pounding. When I reached the surface, the lights in the parking lot flickered the same pale blue as its eyes. I didn't go back for 3 days. When Keller called, I told her I was sick. She didn't argue. But on the 4th day, she showed up at my apartment. You can't quit, she said simply, standing in my doorway. Once you've seen him, he knows your name. She handed me the binder again. A new note was taped inside the cover, written in the same spidery handwriting as the others. If he hums your name, do not answer. If he asks what you remember, do not lie. Above all, never call him by his name. I didn't ask how she knew. When I returned that night, everything was different. The air was heavier, the lights dimmer. The humming started immediately. Not distant this time, nearby. I forced myself to stay at the security desk, eyes on the monitors. Static flickered across each screen, distorting the aisles into bending corridors. And in every frame, somewhere, a shadow moved. He was humming again, the same rhythm, louder now, filling the room like fog. I pressed my palms over my ears, but it didn't help. The sound wasn't in the air, it was in me. Then I heard my name. Sarah. The voice was right behind me. I turned. He was standing inches away, pale face glowing under the flicker of dying fluorescent light. His smile widened, and I realized the sound wasn't coming from his mouth. It was vibrating from the walls, the floor, the shelves. I used to keep records, he whispered. Now I keep memories. I backed away. You're not real, I said before I could stop myself. The smile dropped. His eyes dimmed. You broke the rule. The lights went out. I don't remember much after that, just flashes. Rows of shelves stretching endlessly in every direction. My flashlight rolling away, its beam shrinking. Whispered voices calling names I didn't recognize. I woke up in the break room hours later, covered in dust. The cameras showed nothing. The binder was open on the desk, flipped to a new page. Rule number 15. Do not leave the archive. The archivist hates when his records walk away. That was 6 weeks ago. I don't work there anymore. At least not officially. But I can still hear the humming through the vents of my apartment. Sometimes it's faint, almost soothing. Sometimes it's right behind the door. Last night, I found something shoved under the threshold. A single page torn from the binder. Rule number 14. Never acknowledge the archivist. He'll talk first. You already did. I took the job at Miller's Gas and Mart because it paid cash under the table and didn't ask many questions. The place sat on Highway 191, a stretch of asphalt no one drove unless they were lost or running from something. The nearest town was 15 miles away, and the road signs were so faded, they looked more like warnings than directions. The manager, a guy named Miller, was pushing 70 and smoked so much that his voice sounded like gravel in a blender. He showed me around the store. My first day. 2 gas pumps. A single bathroom. aisles of expired snacks, and a flickering neon "open" sign that never fully turned off. "You'll do fine," he said, handing me a crumpled sheet of paper. "Just follow the rules. Every one of them." The paper was titled, in shaky handwriting, "Rules for the Night Shift. Read carefully. Lock the doors at midnight. No exceptions. Keep the front lights on, even if they flicker. Don't fix them. If someone pulls into pump 3 after 2 a.m., don't look at them. Don't talk to them. Just wait until they're gone. If you hear knocking from the bathroom after 3, unlock it and open the door. Close it again immediately. If the radio starts playing static, turn it off. Wait, then turn it back on. If it's still static, leave it off for the rest of the night. If you find this list in a different place than you left it, read it again, out loud. No matter what you see outside between 3 and 4 a.m., do not open the door." I laughed when I read it. "Is this some kind of initiation joke?" Miller didn't laugh. "Just follow the rules, kid. I'll see you in the morning." And then he left, headlights vanishing into the dark. The first few hours were easy. I stocked shelves, scrolled my phone, and listened to the hum of the coolers. Midnight came and went without a sound, except for the soft buzz of the fluorescent lights and the wind pushing against the old glass doors. Around 1:45 a.m., I heard tires crunching on gravel outside. I looked at the clock. 1:53. A beat-up red pickup pulled up to pump 3. The driver didn't get out. Just sat there, engine running, headlights off. I couldn't see his face through the windshield. The glare of my own store lights made the glass look black. Then I remembered Rule 3. My stomach tightened. Don't make eye contact. Don't talk to them. I turned away, pretending to wipe the counter. The pump clicked once, twice, then stopped. The engine never turned off. Minutes crawled by. I felt that prickling sensation, like someone was watching me through the glass. Finally, the sound of tires on gravel faded into the distance. When I looked again, the truck was gone, but the pump handle was still swinging. The next night, I showed up early. The rule sheet was exactly where I'd left it, taped to the register. Until 2 a.m. That's when I noticed the handwriting. One line, just one, had been added in dark red ink. Don't answer the phone between 2:30 and 3. No one calls at that hour. I frowned. I hadn't written it. Miller hadn't been here. Maybe he'd stopped by before I came in. Still, I followed it. Sure enough, at 2:37, the phone rang. I stood frozen, watching it vibrate against the counter. The old corded handset buzzed like something alive. It rang 11 times before stopping. A few seconds later, the radio behind me crackled. Static Rule 5. I turned it off, waited a full minute, turned it back on. The static had stopped, but a voice came through the speakers. "You shouldn't have looked at pump 3. I didn't sleep that morning." When Miller showed up, I shoved the paper at him. "You didn't add this?" I asked, pointing to the new rule. He squinted, then rubbed his temples. "I told you to follow them." "I did! But someone's..." He slammed the counter. "Just follow them, kid!" "That's all you can do." Before I could say another word, he walked out back to light a cigarette. That was the last time I saw him alive. The third night started normal. Midnight, locked doors, bright lights. But at 2 a.m., something felt wrong. The lights over pumping 3 flickered in a strange rhythm. On, off, like Morse code. The sound of static buzzed faintly from nowhere. Then the rules changed again. I swear, I hadn't moved the paper. It just shifted. sitting on the counter perfectly centered, the red ink scrawled across the bottom. If Miller comes to the window, don't let him in. He's already dead. My chest went cold. Then came the knocking. 3 soft taps on the glass. I looked up. Miller stood outside, coat soaked in rain, cigarette hanging from his lip. His eyes looked too bright. The light above him flickered in and out, casting his shadow long and thin across the pavement. "Kid," he said, his voice muffled by the glass. "You forgot to check the pumps. Come open up." He smiled, but it was wrong. Too wide, too stiff, like the skin didn't fit right. I shook my head slowly. His smile dropped. "You saw the truck, didn't you?" I backed away from the window. His hand slammed against it, leaving a dark smear that looked like oil or blood. The lights flickered again, and when they came back on, he was gone. By 3 a.m., new ink bled across the page as I watched. "He's inside now. Stay behind the counter. Do not look up." Something was breathing on the other side of the counter. Slow. Wet. Each exhale smelled like gasoline. The radio clicked on. Static again. Then a whisper, low and close. "You read the rules out loud, didn't you? That's how we find you." I shut my eyes and pressed my hands over my ears. Footsteps moved closer. The smell grew stronger. I felt something wet drip onto my shoulder. Then, the sound of movement. Scraping across the floor, slow and deliberate, circling me. Another line appeared on the page, written in that same red. "If you survive until 6, burn this paper. Leave the station. Never come back." I waited. Didn't move. Didn't breathe. Somewhere behind me, the front door creaked open. The bell above it jingled once. Then silence. At 6 o'clock, sunlight bled through the dirty windows. I didn't even realize I'd been crying until I saw the red fingerprints smeared across my face. The page was gone. Only the title remained, "Rules for the Night Shift," and one new line beneath it, still wet. "Welcome to Pump 3, Alex. You're next." We only wanted to make a video. That's how all of this started. Just another late-night thrill for my channel. Urban Mythbusters. We'd been doing it for months, testing creepypasta rituals, summoning games, curses. None of them ever worked. Until this one. Liam was the one who found it. "The Game Master's Challenge," he said, spinning his laptop around. The post was new. Uploaded 3 days ago to a dark web forum we use for research. The thread was titled, "Play to Win. The Game Master chooses his champions." Below that was a list of rules. There were only 7. Find a place that remembers death. Gather 4 players, no more, no less. At midnight, light 1 candle each and say, "We play for favor, not for fear." When you hear footsteps, do not speak. Do not look at the Game Master when he enters. Never open the door marked exit. If you survive until dawn, he'll reward you. The post ended with a line written in all caps. "The game resets when the rules change." We laughed. "Total fiction," Mara said. She was the skeptic of the group, sharp, fearless, the one who always went first into dark places. Theo, our cameraman, grinned. "So we're doing it, right?" Of course we were. We found the perfect place. An abandoned mansion just outside town. The locals called it Holloway House. Burned once, rebuilt, then left to rot after the owner hanged himself in the foyer. It had everything we needed. Death, decay, and an atmosphere that screamed views. We arrived just before midnight. The place was enormous, ceilings too high, hallways that bent at odd angles. Every step echoed like the walls were hollow. Theo set up the camera on a tripod. Liam lit 4 candles in a circle on the dusty floor. Mara read the opening line from the post. "We play for favor, not for fear." The wind outside stopped immediately. The whole house went still, like it was holding its breath. Then we heard it. Footsteps upstairs. Slow, deliberate, coming toward us. Theo whispered, "It's just the house settling, right?" No one answered. Rule 4. Do not speak when you hear footsteps. They descended the stairs, heavy enough to make the candle flames tremble. I tried to see, but the shadows at the top of the stairwell didn't move like they should have. They bent, pulsed, as if the air itself had weight. And then they stopped. A voice spoke from the dark. 4 players enter. 3 will leave. The voice was wrong, layered, like a dozen mouths speaking at once. Theo flinched, whispering, "What the?" The candles went out. When the lights flickered back on, Liam was gone. Just gone. No sound, no movement, no scream. Only his candle remained, still burning. Theo rushed to grab the camera. "We have to find him." But Mara grabbed his arm. "No." Rule 6. She was pointing at the far wall. A new door had appeared there. Black wood, red letters carved into it. Exit. The paint was still dripping. We spent the next hour searching. Every corridor looped back to the foyer. Sometimes we turn a corner and see ourselves, like a mirror that shouldn't exist. The footage Theo recorded was glitching, the timestamps looping back to 12 a.m. again and again. At one point, we found a new note nailed to the wall. It wasn't there before. New rules apply. 8. 1 must hide, 1 must seek. 9. If you find him, don't say his name. He'll answer anyway. The words bled into the wallpaper like they were written in something warm. We argued about what to do. Theo wanted to run. Mara wanted to finish the game, whatever that meant. I just wanted to understand what was changing the rules. That's when we heard Liam's voice. "Guys, help me." It came from upstairs. We followed the sound to the master bedroom. The door was closed, even though none of us had been inside yet. Theo turned the knob. "Liam?" The door creaked open. Inside was Liam, or something that looked like him. He was standing in the corner, facing the wall, arms limp at his sides. His clothes were soaked, and his skin looked gray, like the color had been drained out. "Liam," I said softly. He turned. His face was stretched into a smile, too wide for his jaw, eyes black and dripping. "You looked," he said. "You lose." The door slammed shut. We tried to pull it open, but the handle burned our hands. From the other side came the sound of laughter. Dozens of voices, merging, echoing. When the door finally creaked open again, the room was empty. Only a new candle sat on the floor, flame flickering blood red. And beneath it, scrawled on the wood, 10. 3 players remain. 1 must join him. Mara started to break. "This isn't real," she said, pacing. "It's a trick." Viral marketing or something. But the house didn't care. Because right then, the game master arrived. He stepped out of the shadows, tall, wearing a black suit that didn't quite fit his frame, as if the body inside it had forgotten how to be human. His face was smooth, featureless, except for a slit that moved when he spoke. "You broke the rules," he said, "so we'll write new ones." The walls began to pulse, covered in words forming, erasing, rewriting. Every rule shimmered like it was alive. Theo screamed and bolted for the exit door. Mara shouted for him to stop. He didn't listen. The moment his hand touched the handle, the door opened inward. There was no hallway. Just a void of static, black, humming, full of whispering shapes. Theo was pulled inside before he could scream. The door slammed shut, then vanished entirely. Now, it was just me and Mara. She was crying, clutching her candle like a weapon. "We just have to wait until dawn," she said. But when I looked at my phone, it still said 12 a.m. It never moved. The game master tilted his head. "There's only one way out," he whispered. "Finish the list." A new rule bled across the floorboards beneath our feet. 11. One must end the game. Mara looked at me. "What does that mean?" I didn't answer. Because the candlelight flickered and her reflection in the window wasn't hers anymore. It was mine, staring back, whispering, "You know how to win." The game master smiled, or maybe the slit just widened. "Your move!" I don't remember what happened after that. I woke up outside the mansion at sunrise, covered in ash. The building behind me was gone, just an empty lot. No sign of Theo, Mara, or Liam. Only my phone remained, screen cracked, camera still recording. When I checked the footage, it wasn't the video we'd shot. It was a new upload. Title: The Game Master's Challenge, Play to Win. And beneath it, a new rule appeared as I watched. 12. 4 players enter. 1 always survives. Next game begins when you watch.